Hey Crafty friends, welcome back. In today's video, we are going on a road trip adventure. We are starting off in Cayucos, California, and I loaded up on some clam strips from Ducky's. It's one of my favorite places in Cayucos. And then a little bit further up the coast, we made a stop in San Simeon to see the elephant seals. Aren't they so fun? Archie was ready to continue our journey, so I hopped back in the car and we kept on going north on Highway 1, which is right along the coast of California. There's some really beautiful vistas and lookout points, a bunch of fun bridges and tunnels, and if you guys ever get the chance to drive up the coast, I highly recommend it. I personally prefer driving south to north because then you hug the mountainside of the highway, as opposed to if you go north to south, then you're going around a lot of hairpin turns that are like sheer drop-off cliff things, and I'm not as much of a fan of that. So I would personally suggest you guys go south to north and you still get all the beauty of the entire drive. We did also stop at the historic Bixby Bridge, and then shortly after that you roll in through Carmel and Monterey. So once we got up to that area, Archie and I went more inland to Salinas, where we stealth camped overnight, and then the very next morning we headed to Santa Cruz, which is a really fun town and somewhere that I've never been before. We went on walks and we watched the surfers and the waves rolling in, and it was just a really nice, relaxing morning before another afternoon spent on the road. And we kept going north on the 1 because we were headed to San Francisco next. Now, San Francisco is just a stop on our journey more north, and I have been here before, but Archie hasn't. So I wanted to take him to Golden Gate Park, and we had so much fun. He got to sniff all the things and see all the ducks. He wanted to chase after them, but he was not allowed. So once we experienced Golden Gate Park and the fun bison, did you all know that they have bison there? Isn't that so crazy? Anyway, once we experienced that, we headed over the Golden Gate Bridge to our next sleeping spot, which was this Dana Bowers Memorial rest area, and you can actually sleep there, and it was such a beautiful sunset. I loved it so much. The foghorns at night though on the bridge were a little intense, so you've been warned. The next morning we woke up, said goodbye to Carl the Fog, and continued north. We cut across through Napa and that whole Wine Valley area towards Redding, where we took a little pit stop at a rest area because Archie needed to wander around. And then we actually saw a bunch of fire smoke. I guess the forests were on fire around Mount Shasta, which was so sad. Forest fires always break my heart. But we got past it pretty quickly, and we stopped in Weed, California again for another stop, get some more gas. Archie likes to get comfy. And then we continued our road trip north towards Oregon. Isn't Mount Shasta so beautiful, y'all? Oh my gosh, I love it so much. Lots of wide open fields and small towns later, we had finally gotten to our destination for the evening, which was another rest area, surprise, surprise, just south of Klamath Falls. The next morning, we rolled through Klamath Falls and headed up to somewhere that's been on my bucket list for years and years, which is Crater Lake. The drive there was so beautiful. Again, different types of scenery to look at, and then once you get really close to the lake, it's all beautiful foresty trees, and it was just so great. Archie and I couldn't go on any of the trails because dogs are not allowed on the trails. He could only be in like the main kind of touristy paved areas, but we still made the most of it and had so much fun. And isn't this lake so beautiful, y'all? It's like the deepest lake. It's the beautifulest blue I've ever seen. It's so gorgeous. So many wonderful smells. But yeah, we just made our way around the lake. There's like a rim drive, I guess, that goes all the way around with lots of different pullouts and lookout views, and it was just so great. I'm so glad I got to go. If y'all are curious about Crater Lake, want to visit, want to know how it formed and why the water is so blue and how deep it is and all that fun knowledge-y type stuff, I will leave a link to the National Parks page for Crater Lake down below in the description so y'all can plan your very own visit, which I highly recommend. Again, you should go. It's so much fun. But that is it for today's video. Thank y'all so much for coming along on this little road trip with Archie and I through California up into Oregon. And if y'all want to see more adventures like this, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss them. And I will see you in the next Crafty Adventure video. Bye, friends!